Welcome back to Jurassic Peck Farms. As you can see, it is like November 10th and we still haven't had a first frost. In fact, I don't even see anything getting close to a frost. I think like in about a week and a half or like 10 days, was that 10 days? We have a 39, which probably here will be as close to a frost. I tend to get a little bit lower than like the average temperature for my area. I'm just in like a little microclimate. I'm right next to a lake. So there's well, not really a lake. It's more like a large pond and like a couple little small streams. So it does bring the temperature down a little bit. Like we do get a little more fog in this area too. So, you know, it is possible sometime next week we will be getting a very light frost. So far it's still in the 40s mostly, and which is great. You know, I've had a little extra extension. I didn't take much of a risk this year on a few things. Obviously I still left all the flowers up, so the bees that are still out are still loving it, but it has given me a little bit of a break. However, we have had a lot of rain, and I mean like a lot of rain. You know, it is the Pacific Northwest, it is Oregon, we do get a lot of rain, but not necessarily like this amount of like heavy rain this early. So, you know, it has been one of those things where I've been needing to mulch the chicken area and mulch the duck yard and give them a little more space. I've also left the canopy up because it's been raining so heavily. I need to do some repairs on their old canopy, and it looks janky, but right now it's doing the job, and I just don't have a lot of time. Today, though, what I really want to get done is last weekend I cleaned out the chicken coop, cleaned out the duck coop, got that all ready for winter, did a nice big deep clean. I might be needing to add some more mulch. In the winter I usually change the straw out for the ducks like every week or every other week, depending on how wet they are and how much they poop in there, to be honest. But yeah, I looked this morning, they're still totally fine. They've been spending a lot of time outside. It has been daylight savings time, so we get a little less time in the afternoon to get stuff done if I come home from work. And so today is a day where we are going to be doing all the little chores and all the little things that I need to make sure I get done before it rains a whole bunch more. Before we get a first freeze, I'll see if I can get like my winter hose set up. I do want to mow my lawn on the back, this area in here, one last time. I actually didn't get to this particular section out here for like a couple months now. There's like some weeds and some dandelions and stuff. I just like to make it even. I'm still gonna mow it at a really high level. I just kind of want it even. I am gonna be letting the ducks go enjoy their time out there so they can eat all the scraps and stuff. Today I'm also going to be planting the garlic. I'm going to be trying something new. I'm going to be trying it in the green stalk, but I'm not going to stack my green stalk right away. I'm actually going to let it just sit out so I can get like the most sun and the most even exposure for right now. Kind of in the back over here where it is, I want to let the bed where I've had garlic the past 3 years. You know, I didn't get a great harvest last year. And I planted it at the right time. It's just I get a lot of squirrels digging, and I feel like I can protect it in the green stalk a little better. Plus, I'm planting really late anyway. I mean, like I said, it's mid-November. Normally, I don't plant this late. Normally, I have it in the ground before October. But if I don't plant it, I won't get anything. I might still get smaller bulbs, and we're projected to have kind of a... Sorry, there's a squabble in the chicken yard. I'd rather plant it now and have a chance of getting something than not plant it at all and not get anything, guaranteed. So I'm going to be doing that. And so I'm going to show you how I plant my garlic. I got to get everything together. I have some soil that I can amend into that. And, you know, where I normally plant the garlic is very... like squirrels just love to dig in that, and I always am having to go back in, even though I put a really thick layer of straw mulch over it. I'm always having to go back in and kind of cover it up and like put things back in. I tried putting like a mesh fabric over it last year, and it kind of worked, but also like the squirrels wanted to get to it, they got to it. I had some groundhogs that went in there, or some moles. I do have those in this area. They've already come up in some of the beds back here, so one of my winter projects is going to be kind of like solidifying that area in. Not today. All right, so the main goal of the day, besides some like basic maintenance, some basic cleanup, a little bit of lawn mowing back here, is I'm going to show you how I plant that garlic. You know, I love growing hardneck garlic up here. I honestly can't remember what varieties I got. I didn't order my garlic in time. I think I got one hardneck variety. it is my favorite to grow because I like getting the garlic scapes in the springtime. They make for a really nice addition to like dishes. You can chop them up, kind of use them like green onions, really. You can also use them as oil. I've never done that, but you can infuse oil with them, and it's like a garlic onion. It's actually, they're really good. And plus it's really easy to tell when you get those, like when your garlic is close to being harvested. I just tend to like the hard neck garlic better for that unique quality. I've grown soft neck as well. So I think I actually have both varieties, and I'll go over that when I get there. But yeah, so that's the goal for today. And it's a beautiful sunny day. We got like 3 more nice sunny days, and then it's just gonna start pouring down rain again. And I have some time today. So today's the day. All right, come on, let's go. All right, so here we go. I have a green stock 1 row base in front of me. And like I said, I'm just gonna do this, like you can stack the green stock, you should. I just don't have time to level out a space and get it in a place that's really gonna make sense right now. I do, however, have this area right here. This area right here that I can use, put some weed fabric down, which I'm planning on doing anyway. The garlic can sit there all winter. It'll grow just fine. This area stays pretty much undisturbed. I don't walk through here to do the ducks or anything in the winter, and so it'll be perfect. So I've started, I actually did get 3 types. So these are just, normally I get them shipped to me in the mail, but they're one of my local farm stores near me. They were actually selling the garlic seed that I normally get. So I just decided to get it. So like I said, I normally do hard neck garlic. I did get, because they didn't have a lot of the varieties that I normally would like order online, like I usually do like an elephant garlic, and I usually try a bunch of different types to see which one's gonna work the best. I did find that I got 1 soft neck, so I have grown this before. I got the Italian late garlic. I like it. It's good. You know, it's a popular soft neck variety. It's pretty good for cooking. Like, it was easy to grow. I got good results. I mean, you can see the bulbs are kind of medium, smaller size. Totally fine for me. But yeah, so I got this. This is the 1 soft neck garlic. And then I got 2 hard necks. So I got Music and Siberian. I've actually grown both of these before. I only grew the Music last year. I couldn't get this one last year. The Music I actually really like. It's just good. It's always a good producer for me. Even if I only get a couple bulbs of it, like, it grows really well. It is like, it's easy to peel. It's medium flavor. Now, the one thing I found, it's funny, so I'll grow this garlic and I'll share it with my family, like, especially during the summer, like, we'll barbecue outside, we'll grill, we'll do like garlic and like salads, or like as a marinade and something. And you know, it's funny, my parents are like, oh my God. You know, it's kind of funny because I just get the biggest feedback that, like, my family loves garlic. Like, they love garlic. They will, you can never have too much garlic, right? Like, that's just our motto. Well, it's funny, when you grow your own garlic, I have found that your own garlic, first of all, really easy to grow. Go over that in a second. But it just tastes so much better, and it's stronger. Like, you don't need as much garlic as you would if you buy it from the store. Now, I don't know if it's probably just because it's fresher, but in my experience, my parents added the same amount of garlic to a recipe they always do. I loved it. I thought it was great. And it was a kind of a spicier, different type of garlic than we normally get, but they definitely like, whoa, okay, maybe a little less next time, which for my family was kind of hysterical because that's not something you're ever going to hear them say. But anyway, it was this garlic, and I think some of this, I've grown all sorts of different garlic before. Honestly, you can tell the difference between the flavors, but I just go for what grows best for me, and is easy. And like I said, I like the hard neck garlic because you get a garlic scape, and I just really enjoy that in the spring. It's easier to tell when they're about to be done. Anyway, so you'll see, like, this is the Music. So it's, you know, good size bulb, and then this is the Siberian. So it's also another good size bulb. So I'll open up the Music. This is the Music, and I'm gonna open up the other one so you can see. So they do look very similar, but what you'll see is this soft neck garlic, literally this is like a soft neck. When you go in to look at them, this one will have just a bunch of bulbs around one single stem in the center. This one will have a bunch of bulbs, including smaller ones. They get bigger they get bigger as they go out. Kind of like an onion, how it has different layers. The soft neck has that. So the hard neck variety and the soft neck variety. This one specifically has like a very hard stem right in the center, goes all the way through. It grows around the base of the bulb. This one, it does the same, but it layers itself more like an onion. So first things first, you might need to know when you're planting garlic. This is the hardneck garlic. You're gonna need to peel it. Now, you're not gonna peel it like you would for cooking. You're not gonna take all of the paper off, but you wanna separate it because you want this big bulb. You want a bulb like this when you're done. But, so now you can see the hardneck garlic. See how it has this one stem that goes up the front? There are only 3 bulbs on this one. That's fine. This bulb right here is gonna grow into a bulb like this. So you'll notice it has a root there. That's the root that comes in the bottom. This comes apart like that. So this is the base that's gonna grow the roots. So this is the base that you want in. Now, I usually plant mine, I would like to have about this much soil on top of my garlic. Sorry, my neighbor's doing some work in the back. If you hear that, I'm sorry. So what I'm gonna do is I'm actually just gonna put this in a little deep where it's like just barely over the top, and then I'm gonna fill it with soil, and I'm gonna put some straw on top just to make sure that I can tell if somebody's been digging in it. Garlic is that easy to grow. You literally could just put it in the ground as long as you have some good soil. Garlic does like loose soil because it is a bulb, so the looser your soil, the easier it is for the bulb to grow. That's why I'm actually going to try it in the green stock this year. I know people have done it. I've seen things on it. You're supposed to be able to grow it there. I'm just doing it because it's a really easy solution for me right now, and I can move it around as needed. This area behind me, like way back against that fence over there, is where I've grown my garlic in the past. Nothing wrong with it. I just had a really hard time with the ground is really hard back there, and even though I've tilled it and I've tried to amend the soil and stuff, I'm gonna give that bed a rest and just let it kind of settle and get some nutrients in it. That's where I do put my chicken mulch every once in a while to get it so that I can get a really nice nutrient rich soil back there. The one time I had really good success with garlic back there, I literally put like 3 inches of soil all the way along that back line and planted the garlic in that and then mulched over it. So while I know I can grow it back there, I'm gonna give that bed a rest. Also, squirrels everywhere, digging stuff up all the time, and I really want to do something different back there. I'm thinking about maybe even putting some grapevines back there just to kind of cover the fence. It gets so hot back there, so I don't know, we'll see. In the meantime, I'm gonna plant garlic here. Okay, so like I said, like this is pretty low. I mean, this is sitting low, so I'm gonna fill soil all the way to the top. So I'm not gonna bury them too deep in here, but what I am gonna do is I'm gonna put a little of that in each little section. And because, you know, I'm not stacking this necessarily, I don't necessarily need to not only plant on the edge, but just in case, that's what I'm gonna do. And I might plant more, like I could plant one here, I could plant one there, but you know, I didn't buy too much garlic this year, so we should be pretty good to go. The key about doing this, do not take the paper off of this. So you want it still to have that thin paper over it. We're not using it for cooking. It will help protect the bulb while it's growing. So. So one of the things, if you're planting, so this is how it looks in the end, right? I did add a couple more. They have plenty of space to grow. You know, if you are coming across garlic and maybe you break one open and the skin comes off, I would still plant it. But if you're running out of room, and this more goes for like the soft neck garlic, because you can see like this one had six bulbs around it. The first one I had only had 3. If you compare like the size of the bulb, you know, this most likely will give you a bigger bulb in the end. This one will give you a small one. It's not like it's bad garlic or anything. I would, you know, plant it. But if you have one that just doesn't look quite right, or you get some seed garlic that is a little rotten looking, then I would, you know, you can still plant it and try. But if you're limited on space, obviously plant the best bulbs you have. So I have probably about 6 more bulbs of the music garlic that I can put. I'll put that in another one, but I'm going to finish this one off so I can show you how I actually do this. So now I'm just going to kind of fill it in with some soil. This stuff's pretty wet because I accidentally left it out in the rain. Normally you wouldn't want stuff this wet, but honestly, this time of year, everything's this wet. And I'm gonna put it all the way on the top. Because you want them about 3 to 4 inches under, or you want them about 2 to 3 inches under the soil. I've already amended the soil, and the soil that's in this green sock I had amended earlier this year as well, so it's pretty good. Since this is a planter, you could use planting soil. This is just what I have on hand. Like, it's still not quite broken down, but it will be. Hey, so that's kind of what I do to plant the garlic. I usually do that just in ground. Normally you would plant garlic in the ground. I'm just trying something this year to see how it does versus other years. And since I want to do something with the area I normally plant garlic, I still wanted to get some garlic. And since I came across it in the store, I was like, oh, you know what? It's meant to be. So I did get some garlic. I didn't get as much as I normally do, but that's okay. It is late, but like I said, garlic is really easy to grow. And if you can just get it in the ground with enough time, and I'm just gonna put some straw over this. I have that for the ducks. Let it sit over there in the winter. I can even insulate this area in the winter. Like if we get a really, really hard frost, it'll be really easy for me just to kind of wrap this and make sure that everything stays nice and it doesn't get too cold where it kills the bulb itself. But hopefully in June, I'll be able to share with you guys like the actual ending to this story. Couple things, if you do plant it early, like a lot of times our seed garlic, if we get it, we'll get it in like late September and you're supposed to plant it. You can plant it then. If it starts getting a little green sprout, don't worry about that. It's already started to root. It will die back when your frost comes and when it gets really cold outside, like if you're getting snow. But as long as you mulch it really, really well with some straw or some sort of covering that's going to make it so it keeps the garlic like insulated for the winter, you'll be fine. I've grown garlic everywhere from like mild winters that are just chilling in the 30s and 40s to that one winter of the video I just posted of the ducks in the snow where it was like 15 degrees. Both years I got garlic. Got plenty of garlic, enough for me and enough to share. And so yeah, hopefully this year I'll get some garlic. Maybe I can make some garlic powder out of it and just have enough left over to cook. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed the video of learning how to grow garlic. Thanks for joining me today, guys. I'll see you next time.